Assalamu alaikum and hello to my non-Muslim viewers. Today is going to be a special video because today I'm going to be talking about meeting Dr. Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman is a world-renowned scholar on Christianity and the New Testament. He has written several books, some of them being Misquoting Jesus and Forged. These books have made it into the New York Times bestseller list in 2005, 2009, 2011, 2012, etc. In other words, Bart Ehrman is a popular agnostic scholar on Christianity, similar to how William Lane Craig is a popular Christian apologist. He was in my home state of Michigan last night giving a talk on Jesus, the Jewish law, and the Old Testament. He was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I only live 20 minutes away from Ann Arbor, Michigan. But anyways, my overall impression of meeting Bart Ehrman is he's a good guy. He's a decent guy. I thought he was going to be one of those guys who has his head in the clouds, takes himself way too seriously, has a chip on his shoulder, etc., etc. He's a world famous scholar on Christianity. He was featured on Newsweek. His articles his articles have been featured on Newsweek, a popular magazine in America. He's been on the Stephen Colbert Show. He's been on the Daily Show. He's been on CNN. He's been on the History Channel, etc., etc. So Bart Ehrman is famous. I mean, he's been all over the place. He's even been on news segments too. So Bart Ehrman is, he's world famous in America, But so I thought he would be like one of those people who's arrogant and, takes himself too seriously, et cetera, et cetera. But that wasn't the case. Bart Ehrman is actually a down-to-earth guy. He's a humble guy. When I was talking to him, I kept calling him Dr. Ehrman, and he was like, "Just call me Bart." I thought that was awesome. He's not self-important. He's not full of himself. So that kind of surprised me about how, down to earth he was. We only talked for 5 minutes because he was in a rush. But I was supposed to interview him on my YouTube channel. I emailed him a few weeks ago, and I invited him to be interviewed on my YouTube channel. I was supposed to set something up with him, but he said he was too busy while he's in Michigan. So inshallah, God willing, I will interview him next year. So I'm trying to make that happen if he's not too busy, because Bart Ehrman is a busy guy. He travels all around and he gives interviews and for CNN and the History Channel, et cetera, et cetera. So he's busy just moving around all over the place. But I only talked to him. I talked to him briefly. Here are the things I talked to Bart Ehrman about. I talked to him briefly about his book Forged. That's one of my favorite books. That's my favorite book he's written. Then I talked about Richard Carrier and Bart Ehrman's thoughts on the scholarship of Richard Carrier. Bart Ehrman thinks that Richard Carrier is an unpleasant person. That Richard Carrier is a bully, which I find surprising because I always got along with Richard Carrier. I don't see Richard Carrier being a bully or anything. I think Richard Carrier is fine. He's a decent person. So that's the only thing I disagree with Bart Ehrman about. Well, maybe Richard Carrier and Bart Ehrman's personalities don't mix. But I've always got along. I've always gotten along with Richard Carrier. I never had a problem with him. But anyways, I'll get into that later. Then we talked briefly about his interactions with Christian apologists, because me and Bart Ehrman have something in common. We both debated James White, and guess what? We have another thing in common. We both don't like James White. Bart Ehrman told me to my face that he doesn't respect James White because he thinks James White is an unpleasant person, and I agree with Bart Ehrman that James White is an unpleasant person. He's not a nice person. So me and Bart Ehrman have something in common. We both debated James White, and we both don't like James White. And I thought that was awesome too, that we have that in common. My overall impression is that Bart Ehrman is actually better to listen to in person when he is live. A lot of people, a lot of Muslims and Christians, etc., listen to him on YouTube, whether he's doing a lecture or a debate or whatever. But I think talking to Bart Ehrman in person and listening to him live is much better. In that presentation he gave last night in Michigan, which I was in attendance, he was really full of passion and knowledge in his subject of Christianity. So my overall impression is that Bart Ehrman is a decent guy. He's a good guy. I thought he would like look down on me because I'm a Muslim or something. I mean, I actually said I was a Muslim when I introduced myself to Bart Ehrman, and he was like, "Oh, really? Cool." So Bart Ehrman's cool with Muslims. He doesn't have anything against us. So I thought that was cool. He even signed my book, Forged, which. So this is my book, Forged. He signed it. See right there, he signed it, and it says for Ehteshaam Gulam, Bart D. Ehrman. So I thought that was. So I have an autographed copy of Bart Ehrman's book, and again the autograph is right here, if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. So overall, it was a good experience. Bart Ehrman is an amazing scholar, and I highly recommend listening to him live and talking to him in person if you're able to. He will take the time. He will actually take the time to talk to you, but only briefly because he's busy. Stay tuned. I'm going to interview Dr. Richard Carrier, a world-known ancient history scholar and atheist activist. Richard Carrier is well known in the on the internet and stuff like that. So I'm going to have a well-known scholar, ancient history scholar, Dr. Richard Carrier, on my YouTube channel on October 29th. So stay tuned for that. So a lot of good videos are ahead. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum.